Hello, everybody. Welcome to another episode of Money Matters. I am your host, Hung Lu. Today is November the 24th. Okay. And if you're looking at the dates like I am, it is countdown to Christmas and the end of the year. So I'm wishing everybody is able to reach whatever financial independence they want by the end of the year. Hopefully, you're able to make all the money that you want for 2025 because 2026 is going to come at us so fast. All right, so today's topic it was really fun for me to put together, and I hope that you have fun watching me and take something away from it too, because it's actually a universal lesson on time value of money, investment opportunity, the cost of investing, and just very smart money management. So I'm hoping that you take all of that away as well, because when I was putting this together, I was like, holy crap, like I can't believe this is how much it is. And so yeah, so a bit of an eye-opener thing for me. So one of my biggest things, in managing my own time and being a single mom is, how do I do all the stuff that I need to do in my day that I need to do and still have the financial independence and still get to spend time with family and just, be the awesome mom that I am. And so one of those things is leveraging services like Instacart. Okay, so I started looking at this year and I'm like, oh, like, is it really worth paying the fees, paying the membership? Because there's a couple of ways that you could do Instacart. And is it worth it to pay for that and leverage that so that I could get time back, right? Like I put a lot of value on my time. And so I'm just going to preface saying this that I make no money from Instacart, and I'm pretty sure there's some sort of a referral program, but I don't know how to use that. And so I don't make any money off of Instagram. So don't feel like you need to sign up for their program or anything like that. The other thing that I just need to say is, with full disclosure here, that this may not be the right service for you. It may not be the right way for you to leverage your time and money. Okay, because here's the thing, when I ran the analysis, I was actually taken aback by the fact that it doesn't actually make sense for many people. And yet I know there's a lot of people who are using Instacart that maybe should not be using it based on these numbers, okay? And here's the thing, like everything you can analyze and you can analyze it to death, but we're not going to do that. We're just going to do a quick analysis today on showing the hidden cost of convenience. Okay. And that's what this really boils down to. Like Instacart is not about buying groceries. It's not about, am I going to be paying the same money in my grocery bill if I go in person versus buying it through Instacart and getting it delivered. It's not about the groceries. It's about the convenience. It's about the time value of money. Okay, so yeah, so it's really about time. Okay, so let's do this here. And like I'm a busy single mom, but Instacart, this type of like convenience services is not just for single moms. It's not just for parents. It's for entrepreneurs. It's for seniors who can't get to the grocery store, right? Or where it just like the driving, the aspect of it. So it's not just about the time, but it's also the convenience of having it delivered to your door. Okay. And I would say hands down, the process of buying groceries for everybody is the same if you're going to the store. So for me, it's getting into the car, okay, because yeah. So it's driving to the grocery store, parking, going up and down the aisle, picking out the items that I want, and then actually doing price checking and like trying to figure out, hey, is this item on sale versus that item on sale? Once I load up my cart, I go and I stand in line. Okay, and this is the part that drives me crazy, is actually standing in line waiting to pay for my groceries. Okay. And even if it's the self-checkout, you're still standing in line. And this could be, from 0 minutes to 10 minutes or more. Like some of the locations I go to, I'm standing in line for that long. And for me, that is a complete waste of my time. Okay, so then you stand in line. Then you have to wait for your items to either be scanned by the person behind the counter or I manually scan them because now I'm self-serving myself. Okay, then I have to take the groceries to the car, then drive home. Okay, and then walk them to the door. Okay, whereas if I just use Instacart, I order it online and I have like a set things of stuff that I order. So I'm not like looking at pricing. I'm not really looking at like comparing items to items here. Like it's a set thing of groceries that I buy then through Instacart. And the items come to my door and I just literally carry it from my door to my kitchen. And that's it, right? A huge time savings. So anywhere from 30 minutes to an hour, I would be saving for every single order. Now I'm buying groceries at least once a week, twice a week. I wouldn't say twice a week. Okay, so once a week, once every 2 weeks, buying groceries. Okay, so that's a lot of grocery shopping for me. Okay, and I was at one point forcing my kid to buy his own groceries. Okay, but that hasn't happened for a while now. So for me, I'm, potentially saving anywhere from 30 minutes to an hour every single week from just buying groceries. Okay, so that is my process of buying groceries. And I'm assuming that everybody's process is the same. So let's run the analysis to see, does Instacart actually make sense? Okay, and it might make sense for some people and it might make sense and it might not make sense for other people. So where does it not make sense? Okay. And the reason for this is because all of us spend money working in some way. Okay. And knowing how much a service costs us, not just for the actual like service itself, but for the fees. Because here's the thing, the fees is what kills you. It is a hidden fee that is so hard to understand unless you actually analyze it. It's the same thing when you're putting your money into a financial advisor, when you put your money into a real estate opportunity or stocks. There are hidden fees in there, and unless you run the analysis and get a good handle on it, something that you think is actually making you money is actually costing you money. Okay. And so this was a real eye opener for me because I did sign up for Instacart this year and I ran the analysis thinking, oh, yeah, you know what? This totally makes sense for my lifestyle because I'm saving that much time. But then putting the numbers down with every single number was like, ooh, it might not actually make sense anymore. Okay, so let's go through this. Okay, so let me bring up the spreadsheet. Okay, and then we will go through this. And if you want this spreadsheet, just send me an email. Okay, I'm happy to send this spreadsheet over to anybody who wants to run it and just double check it for themselves. Okay, so this is the spreadsheet. So you will see an Instacart spreadsheet, and let me just make this a little bit bigger so that we can all see it for some of us who are getting older. Our eyesight is not so great. Okay, so there's the annual plus plan where for orders over $35, you don't pay a delivery fee. Okay, so it's like $150 plus tax. So let's run the situation with the membership. So I'm going to assume that you are going to buy the annual membership, pay $150. With that, with every single order that you put in, there's a $6 flat regulatory fee. And then there's a 6% service charge. Okay. Now I'm going to flag this because this is what is going to kill this analysis. Okay. Is because the more food you order, the higher your bill. This percentage fee, even though it's a flat 6% fee, it goes up. So the more groceries you order, the more fees you have. Okay. To me, that was like, what the hell? Like, no wonder why Instacart is making so much money, or at least I think they're making so much money. Okay, so a quick analysis here, basically saying for the $150, if I get free delivery of the $35, okay, I need to make 4 orders, a minimum of 4 orders a year to make it worthwhile to buy the $150 membership. So in my case, of course, I'm going to order more than 4 times a year. Like that's basically once a quarter, right? So of course you're going to do that. Okay. But now here's the thing though. Are you going to like how often are you going to order? And depending on how often you order and how much each order is it actually worth it for you to get an Instacart membership? Okay, so let's run through this because it was an eye opener for me, and I managed my money like to the dollar. Okay, and it was still an eye opener for me. So here's the thing. So let's run this with the four different scenarios. Okay, so I'll walk you through here. So it's $50 per order, $100, $200, or $300. So this is per order of your grocery bill. Okay, I'm around like the 150 to 200. So for me, this 200 is the number that I would go with. If you're ordering $50 an order, or if you're ordering $300, per order, then the scenario is going to change a little bit. But keep that in mind that the more dollar value your order is, the fees are going to go up because of that 6%. Okay. So the number of times I'm going to make an order is 2 times. Okay. So I'm just going to put two across here. Now, I'm also using TNT, and I'm also physically going to the store because we can't get enough fruits in this house, okay, to last for a whole week, okay? So keep in mind that in addition to these two, I'm also ordering from TNT and physically going to the store just to get these like small bananas and apples and random carrots, okay? Okay, so that means that my grocery bill per month, if I'm ordering $50 every two times a month, I'm spending about $100 in groceries a month. Okay. This is not my family situation. I'm closer to the $400 to $600 a month. Okay. So assuming that we order $200 every single time, twice a month, we're spending about $400 in groceries bills minimum. Okay. And this is just for two people. Okay. A month. So in the year, we're spending about 4,800. So around $5,000. Okay. And if you were my kid listening to this, you'd be like, oh, mom, that's so close to 6, 7. Okay. So the service charge at 6% goes anywhere up from $3 to 6 to 12 to 18. So as you can see, per order, it goes up. Okay. So that's what I'm saying. Like this 6% is one of those hidden fees because you don't really think that, hey, you know what? The more food I order, the more my fees are going to be. Okay. So now the service fee per year also goes up, going up from $72 to $430. Okay. $430 is not that big of a thing over the course of the year. Okay. So it's not a big number. But when you go from 72 to 432, that's a lot. Okay. So that's fine. Okay, so let's keep going with this analysis. The $6 flat fee for the regulatory fee is $12 per month, regardless if you're ordering the $50 grocery bill or the $300 grocery bills. Okay, so this is not the killer here. What the killer is the 6%. Okay, okay, fine. So my monthly bill would be anywhere from, 400 to maybe $600 a month just for the groceries, adding everything up. Okay. So now we're going to from 5,000 to $7,000. Okay. So this is where that 6, 7 comes in. Okay. So the total fee cost per month goes anywhere from 18 to $50. Okay. So I'm around the 40 to $50 fee per month. The total fee per year is anywhere from 430 to, $600. Okay, fine. You add in the membership fee. So that's the $150 one that we were talking about. Now look at this. It goes up from 600 to just over $700. Okay. So in the whole scheme of things, not that much of a difference, but it does go up. Okay. So now this is where it really puts a light into it. It's not just the dollar value that you want to look at, but it's the percentage fee. Okay. So now the way I calculated this, I basically said, okay, well, how much does it cost me in fees for the entire year? Assuming that I make X amount of orders and the dollar value per order. Okay. If you're ordering $50 every order twice a month, it's costing you 30.5% in fees. Okay, I'm just going to say that in another way. For every dollar you spend on your groceries, if you're buying $50 every single time, for every dollar you spend on your groceries, you are paying, okay, 30 cents in fees for every dollar. That's like looking at paying 30% in taxes. That is massive. Okay, that's like like paying the government another income tax. Like if you are buying $50 grocery bills and you are only making X amount of dollar, Instacart is not the way to go. You are better spent going to buy your own groceries and working less than using Instacart. Okay. When I ran this number and I saw that, I'm like, no, that can't be right. Like, this must be wrong. Like, does it make sense for me to you be using Instacart? Okay. So now here's the thing. When you start ordering around $200 to $300 a month, $200 to $300 per order in groceries, and if you order twice a month, the cost of you doing that is around 10 to 12%. This is still really high. If you're taking your money and putting it into a savings account or a GIC, you're only making 4 to 5% on that money a year. Okay. But in this case, you're basically paying 10%. So you're not even making enough interest on your GIC to pay for your fees to use Instacart. Okay, this is an eye opener for me because unless you're making more than 10% a month, sorry, making more than 10% return a year on your money, it's costing you money to use Instacart. Okay. So the other way to look at this is like in my situation is that if you are making 15% ROI on your investments, then you're buying time back because now you're making more on your investment so you can leverage Instacart to go and make more money because you're making more money than the cost of what this Instacart program is costing you. Okay. So you're technically getting a discount on your time because you're making more money somewhere else. Okay. That is the thing to keep in mind. So, how does that translate to dollar per hour? Like, how do you know if Instacart then is worthwhile for you, right? Because now we all work and make money per hour. Okay. And it doesn't matter if you have a 9 to 5 or not. Like, even for me, like I work for myself, I have my own company, I work for myself. I'm a full-time investor, but I still make $1 per hour. Like but in all like at the end of the year when I calculate how much I report out and how much I actually bring in and all that stuff, I still have $1 per hour. Okay. So let's look at what that looks like here. Okay, so if you're ordering $50 per order, okay, and if I take 30 minutes, okay, so I'm saying you're saving 30 minutes from the ordering, okay? Your cost per order for that 30 minutes is about $15, okay? If you're doing the $50 a month, sorry, $50 an order. Okay. In my case, I'm between the $200 to the $300 range. So if I'm saving 30 minutes, it's each or cost per order is about $24 to $30. Okay. So effectively, your hourly pay is just going to be double that. Okay. So if you're buying $50 per order of groceries, your effective pay is around $30. So you're basically paying somebody $30 an hour to go and buy groceries for you. Okay. So the takeaway here is that if you make less than $30 an hour, you should not be using Instacart to be ordering $50 grocery orders twice a month. Okay. So in the 200 range, you're now paying somebody $50 per hour to shop for you. Okay. This number goes up because of that 6%. So because you're ordering more groceries, you're paying more fees. Okay. So it's not like, hey, you know what? I'll just order more groceries because then I can pay somebody $30 to go and get my groceries. It doesn't work that way. The more you order, the more you're actually technically paying somebody for that. grocery order. Okay. So at what point does it make sense? So if you're ordering at the $200 per order, you're technically paying somebody $50 an hour. Okay. So if you are not making $50 an hour, and if you're not ordering a minimum of $200 in your grocery twice a month through Instacart, it's not worth it for you to have an Instacart membership. That's what it boils down to. Okay. If you're ordering, so in the $300, it's 60, like, so if you're ordering $300 every order on your grocery bill, you're technically paying somebody $60 an hour to go and get your groceries for you. Okay. Now I'm a retired engineer, and when I retired, I know a lot of people who were not making $60 an hour, even as an engineer. Okay. So that means that this number is critical for you to understand, because you're going working a 9 to 5. And if you're making $60 or less, that means you're working an hour, okay, trading your time, energy, your life energy for $60 or less than $60, because that's just how much you're making an hour. But you're paying somebody $50 to $60 to go and get your groceries. You're losing money by paying somebody to get your groceries through Instacart. Like, like I have to shake my head at this. Like, so you literally need to be making $100 or more an hour to make it worthwhile for you to have Instacart. That's basically what it boils down to. Okay, so I know it's a downer because a lot of us love the convenience. Like my kid loves the fact that groceries just show up. Okay. The thing that we don't like about Instacart though is sometimes we order the wrong thing. Like one time I got a watermelon this big, like literally like the size of my head, and it was $15. Like I thought I was getting a big, massive watermelon, and I ended up ordering a tiny watermelon. Well, what am I going to do? I'm not going to go and return it. Like that's a complete waste of my time to go and physically return something. So yeah, so we do order the wrong things, and so that automatically kills the thing about Instacart. Okay, so the thing about this exercise is that it really forces you to look at the value that you put on your time. Okay. We all have 24 hours in a day, but your hour is worth a different dollar value than my hour. Isn't that crazy? Like Bill Gates's 1 hour is like maybe 2 of my years. Like mind blowing. Okay. So, yes, I love analyzing things. And yes, we can analyze anything. And yes, it's funny, but I say that it's funny, but really, a lot of us don't go into this level of detail of analyzing. And then we wonder where our money's going. Okay. So, the gist of it is that you really need to be making over $75 an hour to make it worthwhile for Instacart to be a part of your lifestyle. Okay, so let me just go through my quick notes to make sure that we covered everything. Oh, yes. So one of the comments that I got back from putting this together was that, well, Hung, you know what? Like as a parent, like a young parent with a newborn, I value my 30 minutes to an hour of peace and quiet where I can just sleep. Okay. Absolutely. If you need that time back because of a life change like that, it's a short time frame. Okay, well then maybe, yeah, you know what? You're valuing your time a lot more. Okay. And you need to sort of juggle that, right? Like, is it worth it for your time so that you can go and nap? Okay. I totally get that. Like I went through that with my baby. Okay. So there you go. Okay. So here's the thing. If you are living paycheck to paycheck, okay, if you are not paying off your debts in time, if you're carrying a massive credit card bill load, Instacart is not the thing for you then, right? Like you need to be making way more. You need to value your time as either an entrepreneur or an investor where you're making significantly higher profits, net profits, than what all of this Instacart fees are costing you. Okay, so that is what I have for you. Thank you so very much for watching, and I hope you guys found great value in this. I had so much fun putting this this analysis together. All right, thank you everybody. See you next Monday. Have a great day.